Hi, this is John Barber from IDW Publishing. You are listening to the GeekCast Radio Network.
Welcome to Back Issue Classics, here inside the pull bag. TFG1 Mike brings in a variety of hosts to cover many comics. We review stuff from DC, Marvel, IDW, Image, Zenescope, and more. So open your ears to hear our discussions on comics you might not have known about. It's all here inside the pull bag with Back Issue Classics.
Glad you're with us, Sideswipe.
For now.
As your senior officer, I order you to take this equipment.
You don't get to give me orders.
Excuse me, these are very delicate. I don't know if you've studied the science of 394J receptors. Their construction is really quite interesting.
Hello and welcome to the Pullbags Back Issue Classics. Wow, I almost forgot what the hell show this was. I am, of course, TFG and Mike. This is the 45th Back Issue Classics episode, and joining me is Nicole BeatlesDiva Hailstorm. Hello.
Aloha, how are ya?
I'm doing all right. We kicked LadyWreck to the curb.
No, her protoform it requires attention.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Isn't it time to transform and transcend yet?
I wish. Oh, how I wish.
So the three of us, back in June of this year, reviewed Transformers Robots in Disguise #0, the free comic book day issue.
I forgot
that was
that. Oh my
what?
God. That was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago. It was back in June. So we reviewed that, and here we are now. We're going to be reviewing the first 4 issues of Transformers Robots in Disguise. This is the animated comic book. This is not the book formerly known as Robots in Disguise.
I think
we're going to be going...
Things get really odd with Transformers.
Well, it's Transformers comics, it's IDW, and it's the creative teams that just love to torture us. I mean, you know, thankfully, Georgia and Priscilla are not the torturous soul types of people, at least not yet anyway.
They're
and after all, this is a kid's book, folks. I mean, this is very much kid-friendly. But the issue 0 was written by John Barber with art by Priscilla Tramontano. I assume I'm saying that name right. I could be wrong.
I've never heard any different. So,
okay.
Priscilla, if you're saying it wrong, let us know.
Yes, tell us, please. So, #1 has 2 covers.
Yep.
One is the standard team cover with Grimlock, Strong Arm, and Bumblebee. Where the hell is Sideswipe?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or Fixing. He's not in there either.
Yeah. And the second cover, actually, all of them are on there.
Fix-It's the largest one on the cover. He's like, I wasn't on the last cover, so I'm going to make sure I'm prominent in this one.
Yeah. Okay. So, since issue 0, we had talked about this then. At that time, the Transformers Robots in Disguise animated series on Cartoon Network had not finished its first season. Since that time, it has, and I have seen all of the episodes. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cool show. I'm glad that, Eric Matthews, a.k.a. Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond, Will Friedle is the voice of Bumblebee, and it's not just a bunch of beeps anymore.
Oh, yeah. That helps a lot.
Yeah. And I like the show. I think the show's first season, the coolest thing that it did was it actually put Windblade in the cartoon.
I did like Windblade. I really did. I thought...
They obviously couldn't use her comic origin since that's so different, but I like how they introduced her.
That's the problem that I have. It's like, here's my character we can actually stick with the origin. And she already has, 4 different personalities. I'm like, which personality am I supposed to believe is Windblade? Don't get me wrong. I love Windblade. She's awesome, but overall, I enjoyed the series, but it was kind of like the villain of the week kind of thing. But if you think about it, G1 was fairly similar. It was the plot device of the week. So I still had fun watching it.
I think it got better closer to the end once they introduced Windblade, and it got more linear. As it went on, obviously they finally introduced Megatronus at the end, which I really thought that was going to be Soundwave, the way that they showed him in disguise talking to, not Thunderhoof, Steeljaw. Thank you. At first I thought that was going to be Soundwave, but I like how they're combining the storyline of Prime with the animation style of RID. Because, I mean, Megatron essentially just, at the end of Prime, or at the end of Beast Hunters, was it? Yeah, it was Beast Hunters. He just essentially walks away. So we don't know what the hell happened to Megatron. But this guy here that comes in at the end of this first season of the RID cartoon is Megatronus, who Megatron took his name from. So, but the comic, I'm kind of wondering where the comic falls within the storyline of the show,
It's supposed to happen right after Prime.
Right. No, I understand. So basically, this is
okay. You're talking about
the comic.
Kind of. I don't know. It's a little bit here and there,
Well, obviously, it's after the Alchemore crash, which is what we see in the cartoon series, like the first episode or so. Obviously, it's after that, and they're still trying to learn to be a team. So I'd say it's somewhere in between the first 7 or 8 episodes of the first season.
I'd agree. Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Margaret Scott, if you're listening, comment please, or Georgia, or Priscilla, whoever. Yeah. So we get the previously page, and we get the previously page is essentially catching us up on what happened in the cartoon, and it has the covers and who the creative team is. And then we get into the actual story, and they kind of catch everybody up for new readers. What do you think of the art so far?
I think it's a lot of fun. It's one of those. It's a different style than what we're used to. It's
Priscilla's style, and we've never really seen, other than covers, because she does a lot of covers for IDW, but we've never really seen her do interiors. I believe this is her first time doing interiors.
I think if you were watching the cartoon Robots in Disguise, it's a good replica of. I mean, man, how to take on that task? I want to know how Priscilla took on that task. Oh, here's this cartoon. Now you need to draw it pretty much like this, and you're just like, holy crap! Because some people, everyone has their style. I mean, look at Livio. He has a different style than pretty much anyone. And what imagine if someone said, "Hey, Livio, you got to draw like Priscilla now," and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, what a task!"
So this first issue starts out with Bumblebee, Strong Arm, and Sideswipe hunting some villain, but it's just not any villain. It's an evil demon Fix-It.
But did you notice what Fix-It has?
And I don't think Swerve is going to be too happy about that.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's other My First Blasters, but oh my gosh, what a good little throwback to, here's a little something from More Than Meets the Eye. Enjoy this,
I know this is a different continuity than More Than Meets the Eye, but I really wanted Swerve to come in and just smack Fix-It upside the head. That's my gun. Give me that. Get the hell out of my bar.
I like how she put like a little Decepticon emblem on him too. I like evil Fix-It. I think he's adorable.
Yes, he is. He's very, very adorable. And as the monologue goes on, it says, "And a team chosen by Optimus Prime, but it's as its only defense." The word "team" here is used loosely.
They're still working on it. They're still working on it.
I love how they work in, because sometimes in the show I really get frustrated with Fix-It's glitches, because sometimes they just don't. It's kind of like Bumblebee trying to figure out his catchphrase. Yeah. Sometimes they don't work, but Georgia really makes them work. Stand down, Autobot oppressors, or face my math. Wrath. It's like, wow.
I love it. I think it's adorable.
So a lot of debate and topic on Twitter recently is dealing with Overlord and a certain part of his anatomy.
I've missed
Oh, you didn't hear about the Overlord lipstick thing?
No, I've missed out on that.
Oh, I'll have to find that for you. I think Priscilla brought it up, actually. And as I'm looking at her version of Strong Arm, I'm like, yeah, Strong Arm could be a twin sister of Overlord, the way she draws her.
I think I love her lips. I think they're beautiful.
So as we go through this, Fix-It's like capture devices should be in off mode. That was the agreement. And then we get the Dinopile.
I love Dinopiles.
There should always be a Dinopile. I know this is a different Grimlock. I know this Grimlock used to be a Decepticon. He is now an Autobot. And the voice does work for him in the animated series, but I just think it would be so much better if it was Greg Berger.
Well, everyone loves Greg. But that'd be interesting if they have a Dinobot versus Dinobot versus Dinobot.
Yeah, that could be.
That'd be awesome.
Good Dinobot versus the clone Dinobot versus the other.
Yeah.
I do love Grimlock's line. I'm the Dinobot. It's a thing if I say it's a thing.
I like how he uses his brute force to make his point.
Yeah. So essentially, they're here doing this training, trying to work as a team, and they're in the middle of playing a capture the flag game. Do you notice what's on the flag?
Oh, it's Crimzeek.
It's Crimzeek.
That's
I
awesome.
absolutely love that. And when Fix-It's like, I'm touching the flag, doesn't anyone want to stop me? Anyone? All I can think of is Bueller.
You've mentioned Ferris Bueller a lot lately.
Hey, it's 30 years old this year, so.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Ugh.
Actually, no, it'll be 30 years old next year. I'm sorry, it came out in 86, not 85. 85 was Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club's 30 years old this year.
Wow.
So as we go along, they're all just kind of pig-piling on each other, dino-piling on each other, and just kind of figuring out how to get separated. And Bumblebee rings the gong. Oh, God. A gong joke. I enjoy it, Georgia, but really a gong joke. The next thing you know, they're gonna be playing their own version of the Gong Show.
There's nothing wrong with that. I love that show.
So essentially, they failed the training, and we go back to the scrapyard, and Denny asks them how the training was, and they go and talk about Bumblebee's monologue here. Talks about Team Prime and how they were all one big well-oiled machine, and I don't ever remember seeing Ratchet that happy. I don't ever remember seeing Ratchet smile as much as he's smiling in this panel.
Remember the episode where he took the Gen X or the Energon, whatever?
Synth Energon.
Yeah, and he started becoming like a young bot again. And he hit on Earthy. He was happy then.
Yeah, but that's because he was drugged up.
He was smiling.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing that came out of that episode was he turned into the Wambulance.
I love to get on our seat. She's like, did he just?
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite episodes of Prime.
Absolutely. So, as this first issue goes on, as I said, we go back to the scrapyard. We meet up with Denny again, and his son Russell, who is really, really mad that they went and had combat training without him.
Yeah, because, everyone wants a 10-year-old kid on combat training.
And Grimlock's like, I mash Sideswipe like a bug. I wish Georgia and Priscilla had put a little side note here with Bumblebee, with that old reference that I love to make. I'm not just plain old Bumblebee anymore. I'm a gold bug. Anyway, it wouldn't work here. So the team is Bumblebee's like, we're tripling our time spent in combat drills, and everybody essentially groans, and the lights go out.
And they do the whole Looney Tune, only their optics are showing.
Yep. I'm trying to tell who is who, honestly.
The big blue eyes,
yeah,
those are Grimlock.
Yeah.
The ones next to him,
that's Bumblebee.
That's Bumblebee, yeah. The blue eyes with the eyelashes, of course, that's Strong Arm.
Yeah.
The small one,
Sideswipe and Russell, yeah. It basically mirrors the panel right before it goes out. So we get old Bessie back up and running in the generator, and come to find out, a transformer has short circuited, and they believe it's sentient. Oh. Why does this remind me of Small Soldiers?
The thing is, they don't know.
I know.
They're still
I know.
planets.
And this is where Sideswipe is like, I should go check it out. Well, he tells him, you can go, but only if you take Strong Arm with you.
I'm just waiting for those two to get together.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm hoping between issue 0 and now, I'm hoping by the time we put this episode up live, Priscilla will have sent me Sidearm. The combined form of Sideswipe and Strong Arm.
Well, come on. It's like one of those couples. Everyone knows they should be together, but the two of them,
Yeah, see, I see Strong Arm more of like his condescending mother, and I see Windblade more of his his type.
No, they're going to get together one of these days, and all be right with the world.
Through bad fan fiction, maybe.
Oh, it's already out there.
I don't want to know. That's one thing I don't look for on the internet is fan fiction.
I hear about from other people, and that's all I need to know.
You what? You just hear about it from other people?
Yeah, and that's all I need to know.
Yeah. So they go to this disturbance, and we find we find this. No, I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I was like, oh crap! This Skype cut out.
So they're off and running to their place and wherever they're going to look at this disturbance, and come to find out there's a helicopter waspinator looking thing.
I like this. I think it's adorable.
If only it was really waspinator, but I like this guy. This guy's pretty funny.
It's a girl.
Oh, it's a girl?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't look like a girl.
I thought it was a girl.
Oh, not this one.
Oh no. My story's mixed up. Apologies.
Spinhead. No, you're thinking of the buffalo.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sorry.
Yeah. And this guy is like, your mind control rays will not consume me. He transforms into a helicopter. Fix-It, where's the nearest power substation? And they transform and go to the substation, and we have more arguing between the two of them. And then the villain shows up. I have a suggestion. Why don't you try looking up? I love this panel.
That's a beautiful that is pretty.
I love this panel because the way Priscilla has the background, the way the character model is there, and look at his eyes. His eyes aren't even all the way open.
Yeah, and she did all the coloring too, huh?
She does it all in this series at this point.
I love the colors that she used for him.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And this Decepticon believes that they wish to possess his thought functions. I love the reactions of Sideswipe and Strongarm. Wait, what? No, we don't. That would be crazy talk.
I love the look on Sideswipe's face.
Sideswipe, yeah. If these two eventually get together, it's kind of like almost like the honeymooners at this point.
I don't think there's any domestic violence in it, though.
Oh, I don't know. They, Grimlock dino-piled on them, and she threw dirt in his...
It's already aggressive.
Well, yeah. What do you think so far of the overall story?
I think it's fun. It's just one of those enjoyable jaunts. One thing I do like about the series is the introduction of new characters, and it's a fresh feeling. Like, oh, what are we going to get new this week? And I love that this character is pretty much insane, and they're trying to help him in one way, and then they're like, I don't know what to do with this guy. So I think it's a fun little adventure. I'm liking it so far. What about you?
Yeah, this is what I needed for a Transformers comic. Don't get me wrong. I love the book formerly known as RID. I love More Than Meets the Eye. But I just haven't been able to get into them lately. I don't know what it is. I just haven't, after Combiner Wars, I pretty much stopped reading both books. The only one I've been reading was Windblade before that, but this is really cool because they can do more here than they can in the animated series. Because the animated series, I know we're supposed to be getting a second season, supposedly.
Yeah.
But who knows if that's even going to happen.
I haven't heard anything about it, so...
Yeah. So, let's see. Spinhead kicks Strongarm in the face, and just their exchanges, the way Georgia writes them, she nails the characters from the show. I can hear Darren Criss's Sideswipe, and I forget off the top of my head who plays the voice of Strongarm, but...
I should know that. I apologize, I don't know it right now.
We go back to the scrapyard, and Fix-It's Decepticon helicopter alt mode. Disturbing fixation on mind control. Could you be more specific?
Constant Zimmer. Sorry.
Constant Zimmer. Okay, yeah. Left-handed? That narrows it down. Here we go. Spinhead. I love how Priscilla draws each of the characters because they're kind of like what they look like in the cartoon, but at the same time, not really. She's able to put her own spin on the characters
like that too.
With the facial expressions. Like Bumblebee, I don't think the Bumblebee character in the show would ever look the way that he looks like when he says, "I've heard of them. They were behind those attacks on Cybertron's government last year." And then you've got Sideswipe, Grimlock, and Strongarm all... Well, Sideswipe and Strongarm are looking very sheepishly because Grimlock's essentially insulting them.
Look at that face of Grimlock. Wouldn't she be kind of sheepish? It looks like he would have them for breakfast.
Yeah, pretty much. So as we're going through this, it all comes back to teamwork. And they want to go stop this guy, and Russ is like, all right, I'm coming along. And then everybody's like, nope. And then he's, he basically, stands toe to shin or toe to shoulder to Bumblebee and be like, I need to come along if I'm a part of the team. The one thing, I don't know.
I think we're probably going to say the same thing here.
What?
This is the problem that I do have with this series. And this goes with the cartoon, too. I mean, they're taking on big battles, and then they have this 10-year-old that they're supposed to write into the story, right? In real life, this would never happen. But you're supposed to put a character in there where, the younger kids can relate to and say, oh, this is me. I could be playing with robots and stuff. Sometimes it's too unrealistic, some of the situations that he gets in.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that, I mean, like I said, even before the comic came out, I did have that problem with the cartoon. I'm like, I know his dad's a little more lenient and a little more adventurous than most other parents, but I mean, they're going after an enemy that they don't know anything of, who could be very dangerous, So that's where my fantasy stops. So it's just like, I don't know about this, but I like when he plays dress up and he goes incognito with his dad. I really think that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun. The scene where they're all driving to the substation or wherever it is they're supposed to be going. The one thing, even in the cartoon show, that I have a problem with is Grimlock. It's nothing about his personality. It's nothing. It's just the logistics of Grimlock. He's a giant Dinobot, and their point of the series, both comic and cartoon, is they need to stay hidden. How are you going to stay hidden when you have a giant T-Rex looking thing trumping and stumping down the mountain?
Well, they've played it off pretty well.
Yeah, they have played it off pretty well. I just wish he would get like Transmetal 2 Beast Wars Megatron skates. Remember when Megatron had the wheels? That would make Grimlock so much.
Skating Megatron, hello. His rubber ducky.
Oh yeah. I would love David Kaye to sing the old Sesame Street Ernie song, Rubber Ducky, you're the one.
I'm pretty sure there's somewhere where he has sang that. I'm pretty sure he's sick of signing rubber duckies. David Kaye is an awesome man.
He is, very much so. So we get to the subs. What was that?
I accidentally went to go get my hair tie and I dropped all my remotes.
For a second there, I thought you turned into Fix-It for a moment. Just started glitching all over the place.
I dropped my remote.
So we get to the power station or whatever this is supposed to be.
It's substation, yeah.
I guess I've never seen a power station look like this one. It's essentially rigged up with a whole bunch of wires and everything else, and it's essentially a floating power. I've never seen a floating power station.
This reminded me that... Okay, when I saw this panel, just think Wild Wild West.
Oh, God, yes.
It looks like a giant spider.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. I'm going to run this way, and you're going to run in the opposite direction, and that's going to get us separated. Yeah, it works for me. Clink. I don't care how many people say Wild Wild West is a bad movie. I still love that movie.
It's a horrible movie, but I still enjoy watching it.
Yeah. So we get to Spinhead, and he tries to tell them about the secret ruling class, and they all look at him like he's crazy. And then he's just comes to his senses, well, then I guess you're just a bunch of filthy Autobots.
See, this is what I do. Again, this is one thing that I really do enjoy about this series. Just like issue 0, they have these Decepticons, and you get to know why they're doing what they are. They're all feeling like, I just want to go home. I'm sick of being repressed. I just want to be my own person, you know. At that one point when he's talking about he feels like his second class, you know, you kind of feel sorry for him. You're just like, well, these guys... A
little bit, yeah.
You guys just want to go home, you know.
And that look on his face, the look that Priscilla puts on his face when he says "sigh, fine,"
yeah.
Just
As I was going to say, that last panel on that page, I loved his look. He looks so downtrodden and hurt, and you're just like, oh, I feel sorry for this guy.
Yeah, and then everybody on Team B kind of sideswipe transforms, picks Russell up, and basically zooms off, and everybody on Team B essentially just looks like they're going to desert.
Yeah.
And Bumblebee gets stomped on.
Yeah, he gets dinopiled, too.
he gets, yeah.
I mean, you look at that panel, and you go back to the beginning where Grimlock is doing the dinopile. It's pretty much the same look. So, remember how B got mad because Grimlock did that? Now it's happening to him. Hence saying the training that they did when Bumblebee said, y'all failed, actually, he could have learned from it.
Well, they kind of did because they're working together at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, as we see, and I thought it was hilarious for Priscilla and Georgia to work the panels with, whereas Strong Arm's like, catch this rabbit, and the next thing you know is Sideswipe's tapping him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's a very I'm not being insulting when I say this, but that's a very cartoony kind of. That's like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon.
There's nothing insulting to anything when you compare it to original Looney Tunes. There's nothing insulting because original Looney Tunes was amazing and awesome and fun and yeah. Yep. I don't think that's
absolutely.
Oh no.
So we have all these awesome panels where Sideswipe's running away, Grimlock's running in. And it looks like our heroes are going to basically lose, and then they don't.
Yeah. And
I swear, Spinhead, with the way Priscilla colored him, especially in the panel where he's like, because he's crashed down, I swear he's a double for Waspinator.
I bet you he's probably his long lost cousin. you said that, because when I was reading this, I was kind of picturing kind of the same kind of voice, that buzzy, voice. So. and then poor Grimlock. Now, can I do it now? Dinopile might be the best thing this series has ever produced. I really do feel sorry for Spinhead because. Yeah, they're already down on his luck. You literally kicking a man while he's down right here.
And you'd think that this issue would end right there with, Spinhead saying, "What is this Dinopile and why has it hurt me so?" But no, we were too late. Lo and behold, Bulkhead and RC. Yeah, kind of like to the issue 0 again. So yeah. Did you expect to see them this early, even though we kind of saw them in issue 0?
I was thinking I'd see them at the end of the arc. I wasn't expecting to see them in the next issue.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was going to be like the big ender for the first 4, I thought, oh, well, they're not going to come in until the end. So this was kind of nice. And it kind of gives another dramatic story arc to it as well. I enjoy it.
And we actually get more, because as you've already said, this is essentially continuing the Transformers Prime storyline with different animation style. So it's kind of nice.
I love how Priscilla did RC.
Oh, Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It's so awesome.
I loved Prime RC. I really did. And so she's continued it on, and I like that how she's added just a little bit more pink to her than what we saw in Prime. I love the colors on her and her style. She looks gorgeous.
Is it just me, or do they look like they're supposed to be camouflaged?
I think they're supposed to be just hiding in the shade.
Right, but if you look at the up close panel where RC says we're on our way back to the ship, I don't know. It looks like
to me it's just the shading. Like if you're through through the bushes and stuff, sometimes you're going to get some light, and sometimes you're going to get a lot more shading.
Okay.
I just think it's just the lighting. That's how I took it. So.
Yeah, that could be.
Because if you see that the light is coming on the side there, behind them, so that it would be reflected like that.
Yeah, that's true. And this one this first issue basically ends with Bumblebee and telling Denny about that his old team is here, and he basically is having doubts, and at the end he says maybe we don't trust each other very much after all.
But think about it. I mean, if you are in that situation where you just had the most epic adventure ever,
yeah.
And I mean, when you go through something traumatic, you basically become family. Everyone is in that situation. You come closer to someone when you go through all that. And so for them not to tell him that they were back on Earth, you'd feel like, well, I guess I was wrong. I guess I did screw up. Or he's probably doubting himself, like, it was all my fault or something, So I can see where he's coming from. So
absolutely. Before this first issue ends, we have this little 2-panel thing. I believe John did this. I don't know if Priscilla did it.
I'm not sure, because John did the one that was in issue 0, so...
Yeah, so I'm not sure, because that Bumblebee does not look like Priscilla's Bumblebee.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, this whole page is a letter from John. So I'm thinking it's John's doing. If not, someone tell us.
Yeah, please. The first issue, I liked it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. What about you?
I really did too. There's a lot going on. I mean, you've got different little subplots here and there. You've got a new character, which I absolutely enjoy. I'd like to see more of him. You got the emotion where I kind of felt sorry for him, and you got fun stuff. I mean, Grimlock's pretty hilarious. Fix It, the homage to My First Blaster. Come on, that won me over right there. So.
Yeah, I was really hoping he would get a chance to use it, because I would want to see what Georgia does with the magic bullets that come out of Swerve's blaster.
I wouldn't doubt if, later on. I mean, Fix It, right now, he's kind of in the background. But I bet you he's going to probably have his storyline where he'll have to probably defend for himself at one point. I could see that. And him using it. I think that'd be awesome. So, I really enjoyed this first issue. Again, if you're looking for the heavy drama of the Transformers comic or more than meets the eye, you're not going to really get that, because it is geared towards the younger readers. But that doesn't mean it's not fun, because I had a lot of fun reading it. So,
I mean, the whole point is that, yes, it is for the younger readers, but it's also for us, because I've already made allusions to Sideswipe and Strongarm being, the Honeymooners, the Transformers version of the Honeymooners. I mean, that's not exactly a kid's show, folks.
Oh, no,
I mean,
no. Yeah.
With issue 2, we get a cover, basically kind of like a photo cover that's got a lightning strike on the front of it.
Yeah. Like almost a tear. I'd say it's like a tear.
Yeah. The digital issue does not have the other covers on. I don't know why, but I know the subcover for this one was...
It's by Jack Kitchen.
Oh, it's by Josh. Okay.
Because I've got my copy.
You've got your subcover.
So if you know Josh Bertrand's style, you could definitely tell it's his. You know, and again, it's kind of got like that lightning crack or the tear going down, but it's going down the middle. So it has the Robots in Disguise team on it. So
yeah, what I love about this one, most of all, is they put a roll call page in.
this is what I was hoping you were going to talk about this because.
Oh, wait, how could we not talk about this? I mean, there's a roll.
This is so much fun.
There's a roll call page in every Transformers comic, no matter what it is. There has been for the last 4 or 5, however many years they've been doing More Than Meets the Eye and Robots, formerly known as Robots. But okay, so here's the rundown. We got Bumblebee, team leader, big time hero. Sure. Strong Arm, plays by the book. Sideswipe, never even read a book. Grimlock stomped on the book.
I thought that was so cute.
Fix It, trying to keep it together. And we have Denny, who is the junkyard owner, human ally, and Russell, Denny's son, would-be Autobot. Gotta say, Georgia, you gotta come up with a little bit better for the humans.
No, that's fine because that's basically, I mean, come on, Russell would be Autobot. I think that's awesome. Because he wants to be one, even though he's a 10-year-old kid.
Oh, going back really quick, the subcover for this issue, I remember what it was. It's Bumblebee trying to be He-Man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm like, why does this look familiar? That's right.
By the power of Cybertron, I have the power. That's
I was thinking about this. Oh, a little off topic. I was thinking about this. Someone please tell me. Okay, I was looking at Skeletor today, a picture of Skeletor that I have. And I'm like, this huge muscly body, what happened to his head that he's just a skull? He has no flesh there. But the rest.
Which version of Skeletor is it?
It's one that I got from an artist from Comic-Con. So
is it in the style of the Filmation Skeletor, or is it in the style of the New Adventures Skeletor, or is it in the style of the 2002 Skeletor?
It's more like the old school 80s.
The Filmation, okay. Yeah. There isn't an actual backstory for that. They created a backstory for Skeletor in the 2002 Mike Young production cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Basically what happened was, because through Matty Collector and the toys and all that, his his former personality was that of Keldor, who was brother to King Randor.
Okay.
Through some weird thing, they were brothers. And Keldor, I really hate to do this, but I have to. It's essentially a Mufasa Scar kind of thing, really, between Keldor and Randor. So.
Yeah, I just sent you the picture that I have. Okay. I got it from an artist at Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, that is very much yeah.
Look whose head is on the stick in the background.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ordak, yeah. That's hilarious.
Anyways, sorry to get off topic.
So just to catch you up here, in that storyline in the 2002 cartoon, in the first 3-parter, the beginning, we have Keldor wanting to take over the planet, obviously, blah, 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 blah. There's this vial of ooze or vial of poison that poisons his face, and that's how, in the 2002 cartoon, he eventually loses, instead of Optimus coming in there and saying, "Give me your face," the poison took it from him.
Okay, cool.
So,
thank you. Now
back to your regularly scheduled Transformers programming, people.
I appreciate your help. Because I remember watching the 80s cartoon. I'm like, I don't ever think they ever mentioned it.
No, they don't address it in the Filmation cartoon at all.
Yeah, and they don't address it in the live action film either. So.
No, yeah.
I've got to watch that. Horribly wonderful show.
The best part about that movie is Frank Langella as Skeletor.
Oh my gosh, the very, very, very end after the credit scene.
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh, you don't know about the after credit scenes? It was like one of the very first after credit scenes ever made.
In Masters of the Universe?
Yes.
It's been a while since I've seen. I'll have to go back.
He stole a line from Terminator.
Oh God.
Go watch it. It's awesome.
So we start this issue off basically catching everybody up on what happened in the first issue, the fact that Team Prime is on Earth. We start with, Denny and Russell. We start with the roll call, and then we break into the actual, because that was the previously page. We break into Crown City morning rush hour. I can already tell you, folks, I love this issue simply for how awesome the villain is in this.
Because the villain don't care. He doesn't give a damn.
Because whoever thought of having I mean, this is like Transformers on speed. It's like, when's Keanu Reeves going to come out here? I mean, seriously, it's like, when's this bus going to jump the 50 feet? I mean, so we open this up, and people are waiting on the bus. They get on the bus, and all of a sudden, the bus starts moving and transforming, and people start screaming, and let us out. What's happening?
I mean,
I got to start watching my intake. What were you going to say?
I thought it would be kind of freaky here. You're just doing your everyday, hop on a bus, and then all of a sudden, you're probably thrown next to the guy that hasn't showered for 3 days,
Oh, so it's a bus to Comic-Con. Oh, boy.
That's a stereotype.
No, it's not. It's reality. It's not a stereotype. So we got Team B trying to corral this bus former. I remember when I first read this issue, I actually tweeted on Twitter to a friend of ours, Brian Kilby, and asked him if there were ever any bus formers before, and apparently in Bayformers there was.
They also had a contest in the UK. It was about 4 or 5 years ago, and they made a I can't ever think of his name now. It was one of those double.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was a contest, and that was the one that won for over the UK.
So Team B wants to stall this guy, and he's like, "Hold still so I can mash you." And Sideswipe is like, "We're blocking off the next street. Get transit over there any way you can." Sideswipe wants you to turn left. Obviously, I can't do Grimlock's voice to save my life, but this is like a Batman 66 joke right here, folks, because you have Grimlock basically headbutting Transit's chest, and you have a bang as a sound effect.
I love it. I love the onomatopoeias that they used. So.
Yeah, it's so cool. So we get to the Crown City Central Transportation Center, where Russell is a crossing guard or something. And he's saying that it's, closed and whatever else. I think the coolest part about this is who's in the crowd.
Who's in the crowd?
Who's in the crowd?
Okay,
It's the panel where Russell is saying, "Looks like some of our new units need a little more time in the test lab. Excuse me, gotta run."
Okay, I'm looking.
Come on.
Oh,
they're right in front.
Carly and Spike.
Yep. And I think I swear to God, the chick behind Carly is Shayna.
She could be Shayna. Yeah.
I hope Priscilla comments on this and lets me know, because I really think that's Shayna from Gem and the Holograms.
That'd be oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome if they were in the same universe.
I know, right? Sadly, nobody can see that movie anymore.
Oh,
since
and the Transformer that was in the Michael Bay film was Bendy Bus Prime.
Bendy Bus Prime, that's what it is. Yeah. I'm sorry. So as we go,
really, I have to actually look up the stuff. So.
As we go along here, we find out that Transit likes to throw espresso stands at Grimlock. And a whole bunch of other things as well.
Oh, poor Grimlock. At least Grimlock is a good catcher.
Yes, he is. At least he can, juggle everything fairly well. So Transit gets away and he gets held up by a traffic jam. And we have Fix It. Traffic sign hacked. Operation Stop and Go is address. Mess. Success. Thanks. You really cleared that up. I love what Priscilla did with Sideswipe there. Because at first I didn't notice it, but it's Fix It on his arm. Because I can't tell because of the panel. Mm-hmm. On his arm, it's a holographic thing that pops up.
Yeah.
It shows you Sideswipe. And then bring in Denny in a suit. I'm like, whoa, is that Jefferson Darcy?
I know. I. That's what I think of too.
Well, to be fair, Ted McGinley voices Denny on the show, so. So Transit basically falls off the bridge there and is basically caught. And I love the news report coming up here. Crown City bus goes out of control. Coffee seller confused.
Don't blame.
Yeah. And Team B consistently, they're still not working well together. They seem to think it's a successful mission, but Bumblebee's like, yeah, next time we'll have to work on the whole,
staying incognito.
Staying incognito, yeah. And he keeps comparing them to that was last issue. He kept comparing them. He sits there and asks Fix It if he's found the other Team Prime members, and Fix It's like, yeah, I put out signals everywhere except here, apparently. And Ultra Magnus knocks on the door with the hammer.
I love it. I stop you right here on that before Ultra Magnus comes in. Priscilla, once again, does a great job with expressions. I love the look that she's giving me here. that one panel where he's talking to Bee and he's just got, you can tell he's just like rolling his eyes. I love it.
Oh, you mean Fix It? Yeah. Yeah, Fix It is the most, they're all all their facial expressions are very expressive, but I think Fix It, I think she has the most fun with him. I'm not trying to put words in Priscilla's mouth, but it seems like through the art, just through seeing that she has the most fun with his expressions more than the others.
Yeah.
And as I say that, we have Sideswipe and Strongarm. And their reaction to Team Prime, more so Strongarm than anybody else.
I absolutely love the look on her face here.
She fangirls out.
In all fairness, though, I don't blame her.
Well, no, I don't blame her either, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I love their two reactions where she's like Team Prime and she's got all these stars and everything else around her head and in her eyes, and Sideswipe's like, just whoa. So we have the reunion, very quick reunion between Bulkhead and Bumblebee. And then we have Strongarm fangirling all over RC. And
I love how RC is taking this. Yeah. She's doing like pretty much what any person that has to go to a convention that has to meet up with their fans. She's taking it very well, you know. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that Priscilla did not put Priscilla has like a half smile on RC's face. She's not like, she doesn't have like a rolling her eyes kind of look or kind of a frowny little smirk on her face. And I can so hear Sumali Montano saying this. My first fan, that's why I spend all of my time lately tracking down criminals, the fame and the glamour. Just add in the fashion and the glitter, and there you go. So they're there on a criminal investigation, and they're looking for 3 criminals ejected from the Alchemore because they are looking for someone named Clipshade, who apparently was Bumblebee's first bust. And they then have an interrogation scene. Mm-hmm. I love the interrogation scene.
I do too.
Because it essentially brings us to everybody we've already captured. We got Flamefeather, who was in issue 0. We got Spinhead, who was in last issue. And we got Transit, who was in this issue.
And I love it. I think I love that 3 sets of panels there. I think because they all look so good.
I almost wish they were in like a black and white, like police station kind of style. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. For what Priscilla's style is but the way I see this is, I want to see them up against the height board. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mugshots, everybody, mugshots. So we find out about a Decepticon named Retrofit, who joined just before Clipshade's incarceration. And apparently Strongarm is going to impersonate Retrofit. This can't go well.
I like how Strongarm's like, hey, I could do an ad-lib as long as it's not me. She can't ad-lib for herself, but when she's a second personality, she can.
Yeah. Honestly, I like the Retrofit colors on her almost better than her normal colors. They look really cool here.
Those are like my 2 favorite colors, the blue and purple. They're my favorite colors. So
I love the way Priscilla has... Bumblebee looks like a kid on... like he's on a picnic or something.
Yeah.
I know he's got the binoculars and but the way she's got him laying down, I just can't, obviously I'm picturing it here because it's here, but in my mind, I just can't picture any version of Bumblebee laying down like this for reconnaissance. Just can't.
I think there was one, I'm trying to think. I thought that he did it in Prime, but I could be wrong, so.
I think he crouched down. I don't think he's laying down on the grass. So Clipshade shows up. Strongarm as Retrofit tries her.
Is it Georgia that's giving them the characters these names? Because I kind of like that name, Clipshade. I like it.
I would assume it's Georgia. I would assume.
Or I don't know if that's Hasbro's doing, like, you have to have a character called this or whatever, or if it's Georgia, because I really do like that.
I don't think, like, unless they're going to eventually make toys of these comic character versions, I don't know. We can ask.
I love that. I love the colors, I tell you.
Yep. Clipshade reminds me of the Dobermans from Oliver and Company. Oh boy. So Retrofit, aka Strongarm, basically screws it up because, she agrees with him about finding Afterburner, which apparently was a trap.
Yeah.
And Bumblebee's like, nope, gotta go. Gotta go save her. We stick together, which, that's a good message.
Yeah. He learned from Prime about that, He's been with Prime for years and centuries or whatever,
Yeah. So, it hurt my eyes at first, but I love the scene where RC and Bulkhead transform.
See, this is what I do miss with a lot. We had it earlier in this issue as well, but good transformation sequences. This one's gorgeous. I love how she did it. Because there for a while, a lot of the Transformer comics, you rarely got a transformation scene. I'm pretty sure it's very difficult to draw, but
yeah,
she did a great job here. I love it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. So we get to this warehouse, which they think they're going to get the upper hand on Clipshade, but he basically jumps through the window.
Yep.
And then it seems like we see that close-up of him where he says, "We do indeed, it ends." And he doesn't look the same like when he looks... Like, the panel right before that, he says, where Bumblebee says, "You and I have been here before, and we both know how it ends." In the panel after that, and the panel after that, he looks so different. He looks like he's like 30 years older in his face. It just, I don't know, it looks weird.
I think it's the shading.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to look darker because they're indoors now instead of outdoors.
Okay.
I'm thinking that it's probably just the shading of it. I didn't notice. I didn't notice that. So.
Huh. Okay. So he gets outside, and Sideswipe and Grimlock are basically double whammied.
Yeah.
And Strongarm tries to get him, but that doesn't work. Grimlock eventually grabs him, and they're like, "Oh, well, we'll take him back to the command center." And Ultra Magnus is like, "Belay that order."
I'm stepping here.
I still can't do a Michael Ironside. Sorry, folks. I'd love to, but I can't. So they leave. The team comes back to the scrapyard. Russell is eating a sandwich because he stayed home this time for his own good. And the strong arm is still fangirling over working with Team Prime. And then we have the cool stuff, because Priscilla was able to include a certain...
I love this. Love this. Way to go, Priscilla.
Yeah, Carnival mirrors give me the creeps. Anyone that didn't notice this, you should be ashamed of yourself. Any Transformers animated fan that didn't notice this, you should be ashamed of yourself if you looked at this comic. Because she got in an animated Bumblebee.
Because animated is so beloved,
Yep. And she even got in a sort of looking animated Optimus a little bit.
Yeah.
The panel after the B panel where he says Optimus Prime.
Yep.
Obviously Optimus in Transformers Animated was David Kaye and not Peter Cullen, and this does look more like the Peter Cullen, obviously, Transformers Prime face, but it's... I don't know.
The body looks more animated, like...
Yeah. Yeah. And Optimus basically says, trust your instincts, and this is where this one ends, where he's like, there's something Ultra Magnus is not telling us. From now on, this is our investigation, and that's where number 2 ends.
Yeah,
I love this issue.
I really like the ending of number 2, because you're just like, oh, so is Ultra Magnus in the wrong here? Or is someone
Mm-hmm.
impersonating Ultra Magnus? Or what about the rest of the team? This issue left me with a lot of questions. And I like it when they do that because then you get so excited to read the next one. Like, ooh, what's going to happen? What's going to go on, you know?
I think my favorite part about this issue was the whole beginning with Transit. That was just awesome. We need to have more Transit. That's really what we need to have. I just dug that so much.
Yeah, they did a good. Again, it's a fun story. It really gets you involved, and I like that they have Team Prime in there as well. So.
Mm-hmm. So for issue number 3, we have the regular cover is Denny and Russell riding Grimlock.
Uh-huh. I love it.
They're riding a T-Rex. And thankfully he does not have any feathers.
Who wouldn't want to ride a T-Rex? Really? That'd be awesome.
Right. The subcover is very strange.
I love this subcover. Love it.
It's very strange looking to me. It's RC and Strong Arm, but they don't look like what Priscilla is drawing them as.
It's because it's by Josh Burcham.
Okay. And don't get me wrong, I love Josh. I do. I'm not saying anything bad about his cover here. I'm just saying I'm not used to seeing Strong Arm look the way that she's looking in this.
You never really see Strong Arm get out of that personality mode of she's so by the book, so serious, and then you see Fangirl out, and you're just like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah, and apparently, rather than act appreciative about it or somewhat tolerant about it, Josh draws RC like she's pissed because it's got the 3 red flares in the top of her head.
How long has this been going on now?
Yeah, really. Ain't that the truth? So we get into issue number 3 here. I'm sorry. Jumping ahead too much. We have the previous...
You're counting 0. You're probably counting 0.
Yeah, kind of. That's what happens when you do a free comic book day issue, folks.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the previously page to catch everybody up. As the story opens, we have the roll call page, but it's the same. I'm wondering when George is going to change that up.
It's probably, I would say it's probably after the story arc, because we're reviewing one story arc, so it might be different next issue, I'd say.
Well, I know it's not different for issue 4, maybe issue 5, yeah.
So I'm saying for issue 5.
Yeah, okay.
Starting the next story arc, so.
Yeah. So this one, this issue is, last issue we dealt with Transit and Bus Formers and Bendy Bus Prime and all that stuff, and this one we're dealing with the Transformers version of Storage Wars called Bin Battles.
I love it.
I didn't even think Storage Wars was still a thing.
Yeah, and then they've got like all these other knockoff series.
I know.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember 2 or 3 years ago where Storage Wars was this big, huge thing, and now it just, I don't know, maybe it's just me since I don't really have actual cable television right now, but it just seems like it's almost died down.
Oh, I think it's still a thing. That and pawn stuff, and ugh.
Yeah. Pawn stuff, that's funny.
When you get one show, then they have like 5 others that follow it, you know? So.
Yep. So they're talking about this show, Bin Battles, and apparently Denny ordered something or did something where he's looking for his vintage Morton Donuts sign, and apparently it's there. And he goes off to do that, and Sideswipe Sideswipe wants to go see it, but Denny's like, "You're probably gonna need to stay out of sight." Aww.
Aww.
And apparently, Strong Arm is not too happy. And apparently, she doesn't get reality television programming.
I don't blame her.
I was really surprised when Bumblebee did the turn that he did here. You mean Bin Battles? I love that show. I don't think I've ever seen Bumblebee that happy.
It depends. It depends.
Yeah. So Fix-It has been looking for known associates, and he finds a Buffaloid. And all I can think of is, wow. She kind of reminds me of El Torito from WWE.
Oh my gosh. Nice.
Yeah. And Bumblebee says, any lead is better than none. Good work, Fix-It. And Fix-It's like, I would have reported back sooner, but it took me a few days to identify Clipshade's favorite chrome alloy pie. It's magnesium meringue.
I thought that was so adorable.
And he's like, I just said that for emphasis. I didn't really need to know. Oh, well, he has excellent taste. The recipe looks vicious, suspicious, delicious.
I kind of want to see what this recipe is.
Yeah. So Strong Arm and Grimlock go with Bumblebee, and he sends Sideswipe, Denny, and Russell off to find other storage units and whatever else. And Denny doesn't even want to go at first because his Morton Donuts sign came, and I can't believe Priscilla put in a Simpsons donut.
Why not? They are the best donuts.
I know, but it's just so funny. I can't believe she got away with that.
Why not? Simpsons did it.
That's true. So Denny doesn't really want to go at first until Russell says, we're going storage shopping. I get the driver's seat.
Denny is such a pack rat.
He is. Speaking of reality television, he should probably be on Hoarders.
Yeah. The thing is, he owns a junkyard, but he doesn't to let go of anything.
It's true. So he gets to this... Oh, go ahead. He gets to the auction here, and it looks like it's a paper... I don't know. It looks like it's a paper sign, or it's some sort of placard or whatever of Denver the Last... Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not Denver the Last Dinosaur. It's a green version of... It's a green version of Snarl.
I was thinking it looked like, the Sinclair gas station dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's a Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus. I don't know. But
something like that. Yeah.
To it.
And I love the next panel where Sideswipe on the monitor is like, if anyone is watching this, I hope they're having more fun than I am, and Bulkhead's nearly asleep. So, the Buffaloid is a transport van of some sort, apparently.
No,
and
you'll see.
Oh,
what? That's right. Never mind. I'm getting my issues mixed up again. I think that was transit.
No.
I know.
Because this is a purple van versus a gray bus.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking it was transit again. I'm like, nope.
No, it's not. No, he's locked up. He's in the stasis pod.
I realized that now.
So, the female guard's like, make sure you check the traffic report, Joe. I heard there's an accident on 5th. And basically, he turns on the radio. With a high today of 72, traffic is up next. But first, maybe you should step outside, Joe. And Joe gets ejector seated.
That would be fun and suck at the same time.
Well, at least he held on to the lamppost.
Yeah.
So the van comes to the U-Packet self-storage facility. And Bumblebee's like, okay, strike on my mark. Grimlock is not exactly quiet when he's saying, I'm ready, I'm pumped, I'm taking her down. Yeah, woo!
Woohoo!
And of course, Bumblebee does. I feel like at this point in this panel where Bumblebee's like, on 3, 1, 2, and Grimlock's like, attack! Bumblebee is Murtaugh. Grimlock is Riggs. Do we go on 3 or 1, 2, then 3? No, 1, 2, 3. That's what it is. 1, 2, 3, go. So the Buffaloid, Grimlock tries to trick her. Greetings, fellow Decepticon. I don't think so.
She's smarter than that.
Yeah, I love it when Priscilla has Grimlock headbutting people. Well, actually, the Buffaloid here headbutts him, but I just love that look. That's just awesome.
Yeah, I like that panel a lot. I like how she made this Buffaloid. I like how the... was it overhead? Yeah, over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like how tough they make her. Like, you know what? She's not going to back down. She knows she's caught, but she's going to put up a good fight here. I love it.
Yeah. I think the best panel of overhead here is after Strong Arm throws the trash at her.
Oh,
and her eyes and her just the whole grrr. I just love that panel. That panel is so awesome.
I like the little air coming out of her nostrils like a buffalo would, an actual buffalo.
Absolutely. And apparently, Grimlock decides to wear a dress.
A dress?
Because a few panels later, they crash into the clothes. Like, wow.
I like the hat.
Yeah, I like that, yeah. So we find out that Overhead is actually the mastermind behind this whole thing, for now anyway. And she even says, I just want to go home. She says she'll even tell them how to find her boss, and Bumblebee's like, Clipshade's already in custody. That hood ornament, he's just for show.
I do notice there is a couple of art errors here.
Okay.
At one point, she has her horn ripped off and then is kind of like grown back again.
Oh, so it's kind of like your boyfriend there.
My boyfriend was gifted his horn, thank you.
No, he was not. It was gifted that he got it ripped off.
He got it back.
Yeah, well, that's just one relationship that just... talk about some bad fan fiction. Oh boy. The Cyclonus Tailgate fandom just... wow.
I don't even look at it.
It's a good thing you don't. So she whips out this transmitter... thinking that they're going to basically go along with what she's saying. And yeah, wow. What happened to you this issue, Priscilla? Yeah, you're right. The art on her, the horn's there, it's missing, and then it's there again for the rest of these panels.
Yep. That's the only flaw I could see.
Yeah.
And that's
absolutely
that could be understandable. So.
Yep. And in the panel later, when she's stasis cuffed to the side of the building, her horn is gone again.
Yeah.
So they're all laying in wait to see who shows up for this this transmitter thing, this distress signal. And lo and behold, it's Clipshade.
What?
Wait, what?
Locked up.
And apparently Clipshade is a double agent. You know, if he was big and black and silver and turned into a cassette and he was a Decepticon, it'd be Ravage all over again.
No, Ravage is a cat. He's a dog. There's a big difference.
Well, I know. Oh, okay, change the species too.
No, I like double agents. I think they're fun.
They are very fun, yes.
And I especially love, really jumping ahead, love what he does to Sideswipe. It's awesome.
Yeah, poor Sideswipe. Sideswipe just gets a raw deal, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we get there, we get to the fact that they're looking for Overhead, and she's with Strong Arm, and apparently, obviously, Strong Arm comes to realize that the stuff that was stolen isn't random. It's, it's ingredients for a space bridge, and Bumblebee's like, Strong Arm! And she got knocked on her ass, essentially.
Yeah.
And they're all arguing, and this is where your favorite moment here comes in, where Clipshade's like, would you like to see what this cannon is really capable of? Click.
He stole Pinkie Pie's party cannon.
Well, at least he put it to good use.
I love Sideswipe's reaction afterwards. Can you sync that to music?
And then Clipshade's reply, you obviously missed my penultimate performance under my stage name, Spectrosynth, at the Cybertron Amphitheater.
So he's a professionally trained actor.
Yeah. Oh, God. Now all I can think of is Clipshade as Bugs Bunny. Oh, a Shakespearean actor. Strong Arm obviously is not too happy. The look on her face, I swear it looks like she's constipated.
She just got knocked out, man.
I know. Team Prime shows back up at the end of this because Strong Arm says, it's alright, it's just when I catch up to that Buffaloid, I'm gonna knock her into a new dimension. And Bumblebee's like, you're right, but first we need to find Ultra Magnus and get some answers. You're right, Lieutenant. Answers are long overdue.
Mm-hmm. And I gotta give kudos to Priscilla and the size that she's put into this last panel, because RC looks like the size that she's supposed to be.
Yep. Absolutely, she does. So with issue number 4, we have 2 covers here. We have the regular cover and the sub cover. The regular cover is pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Sideswipe even has his sword out. Fix-It's there, Bulkhead, Grimlock, Strong Arm, Bumblebee, and Magnus. And they look like they're fighting the audience.
I think it's great. I think it's fun.
Yeah. And then the sub cover is basically Bumblebee and Magnus going at it Rock'em Sock'em Robot style.
Who doesn't like a good Rock'em Sock'em?
Yeah, I wish they'd put one of those jokes in this series. I could see Sideswipe and Strong Arm playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be awesome. So obviously we start off with the previously page, getting us caught up with what happened in the last issue. Then we have the roll call, and then we have a completely different story. Like, because issue 4, as of this recording, just came out.
Yeah.
So this recording is not going up until a week after issue 4's release. So we're gonna spoil the hell out of it, folks.
Yeah. So.
But I wasn't sure what to expect at the beginning of this after the previously page, because obviously it's in the style it's supposed to be in. And then we start off with Sesame Street drawings. I'm not saying that as an insult.
No, I think this is absolutely adorable. Oh my!
It is. It's awesome.
I love, especially in the very first panel, that the son's crying.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh. These first 3 panels made me smile so big. I love it.
It's just so funny. I didn't know Priscilla could do stuff like this. This is awesome.
Yeah,
because this looks these 4 or 5, 3 or 4 panels here. These opening panels. It's actually 3.
Yeah, it's 3 panels.
It looks like it's it looks like it's something that you'd see in like a 4th or 5th grade art class.
Oh, but it's I think it's adorable. I love it.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying the way that she's drawn it. It honestly reminds me of the way I used to draw when I was in elementary school.
Well,
then we get back to
supposed to be.
Yeah. Then we get back to the real world. That's how you thought this would go? Thanks for reminding me why I never tell you anything. Oh, boy. So, basically, we start with Ultra Magnus and Bumblebee fighting and over the fact that Ultra Magnus should have trusted him and everything else. And Ultra Magnus is like, I wasn't sure I could trust your friends. And at first I thought he was referring to Sideswipe.
Uh-huh.
But when he says that, he's looking back at Fix-It and Grimlock. And yes, while Grimlock was originally a Decepticon, he is now an Autobot.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, why would you ever not trust Fix-It? I mean...
Because wasn't he Decepticon at one point too?
No, he was the Autobot Minicon. He's the Autobot Minicon that came with the Alchemore. He was the
I thought it was something in the cartoon. Can't remember.
No, he was the caretaker of the prison ship Alchemore.
That's right.
So we get the whole thing of I accepted your help and. The fact that Bumblebee didn't listen to him and he ordered his team to investigate. And his point is that while he may have compromised Ultra Magnus' mission to protect Cybertron, at the same time, Ultra Magnus' decision to use them instead of telling them what was going on has endangered everyone on Earth. So it kind of plays out in like what Strong Arm's dream was, but obviously they're not BFFs. So with the trust issues out of the way, we then go to the fact of that the Buffaloid, wouldn't suspect one of the Autobots because one of them she's never seen one of them, which is Sideswipe. So Sideswipe gets to go be a spy. And, like, I still can't believe none of them got that joke. I mean, Come on. The idea of going undercover is like slapping a new sticker on my bumper.
I love it.
And it's like they're all just like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well, he really is the outcast of the group. He was never military trained, and he kind of got sucked into this, and now he's trying to learn.
Yep. So we go to the coastal wetlands where we have two gator-looking bots coming back with a bunch of boxes, apparently. Apparently none of this stuff Overhead can use.
Well, because they don't even know that what
Yeah.
they're for, and so she's like, ugh.
Yeah, they don't know what she's looking for because the Autobots confiscated all her stuff last issue, I think. And one of them says, "What's the first thing you're gonna do when you get back home, Razor Grill?" "I'm gonna find that tinfoil traffic cop that pulled me over for leaking oil in a no leaking zone and break his gaskets. How about you?"
Do you think he's talking about Prowl?
Tinfoil traffic cop? Yeah, I could see Prowl being a tinfoil traffic cop, and after all, he doesn't like people who break the rules.
Exactly.
But then again, it could be Bombshell controlling Prowl. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do something tough like that too. I was definitely not going to say watch season 3 of What Not to Alt Mode.
I want
to see that show. What not to alt mode. Oh. Do you think that was a More Than Meets the Eye jab? At Rung?
Probably at Rung, yeah.
And apparently they're not going home, according to Overhead. Because she doesn't want to go back to all the rivalries and whatever else. She wants to rule Earth, essentially. And we go back to training is underway at the scrapyard. Oh boy. That's one wacky-looking drawing, don't you think?
It's... Yeah. I love it, though. I like... What's his name? Why can't I think of his name now? The dog.
Clipshade.
I even like that name. I like his theatrical him as the clown.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh boy. And then you got a weird looking Megatron in the upper right hand corner. You got Sideswipe with two different... Actually, you got Sideswipe himself standing next to the board with some sort of frown on his face. And then you have the frown, and then you have some sort of angry-looking face. He almost looks like Pterosaur with his angry face on.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to figure out how Sideswipe can improvise. Because apparently, Sideswipe did not go to the Groundlings or Second City or anything like that, and he's not good at improv at all. And they all try these lines, and this is just hilarious.
I like that they're all trying to give it a shot.
Yeah. Sideswipe, I think I had a moo-moo, a choo-choo, a breakthrough. Could you just send everyone up? Oh.
Poor Clipshade.
Poor Fix-It.
That's true.
I mean, poor like, don't get me wrong. Oh my god, I just noticed the whack. It's like somebody hit him in the head. Oh, I love this series.
It's a lot of fun. There's so much fun stuff, even in the background, and yeah.
I wonder how. Well, so far I count 2, but I'm really wondering how many more Decepticon symbols Priscilla can put into this one because she's got 1 on the board. And then there's 1 behind Fix It when we get to him.
Yep. You got to know where the Decepticons are at.
Yeah, that's true. And there's 1 on the screen with Skull Cruncher and what's the Razor Grill. Mm-hmm. So they've all got a plan that Sideswipe's going to be the undercover. And because Razor Grill and Skull Cruncher are essentially Decepticon versions of the Dinobots intelligently, they basically just accept him into the fold, and sadly that doesn't work out too well for them.
I love this whole next page. I think it's so cool and cute. I love it.
They basically beat them both up.
I know. I just love how Skullcruncher's so happy to see someone and just hugs them to the point where they're starting to break.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it is. Wow. So as we go along here, they think they're going to get away with it, but then Team Prime shows up. It's 3-on-2 if you count Sideswipe, 4-on-2. If he can get up. Grimlock and Team Prime end up in... Grimlock, Bumblebee, and Team Prime end up in the storage facility.
I just gotta mention this. I finally came to realize, like, Skull Cruncher reminds me of someone. And I can figure out. It reminds me of... Little John from Disney's Robin Hood.
Yeah, he kind of does, honestly. Yep.
It finally just came to me. I'm like, there we go.
So as Team B enters the storage facility, we get a Rat Trap reference, even though it's not really Rat Trap.
I just like, something about him.
Yeah, at least he's not wearing a chef's hat, thank God. Ratatouille. Ugh.
I take it you didn't like that one?
No. A chef rat? No. No. So, as Strongarm is being freaked out about the Rat Trap reference, Overhead basically sneaks up behind her because apparently she had a silent alarm installed.
Mm-hmm. Which is smart.
It's smart. Luckily, Strongarm finally gets the upper hand over her. And we have another really awesome roar with the red eyes and the whole...
Again, I love it.
I love that panel. That panel is awesome. Poor Grimlock. This is, again, the whole teamwork thing, and Grimlock not realizing certain things. She grabs his tail, and Bumblebee is like a deer in the headlights. Oh, not again.
That's exactly shit.
And one of the other, I forget if it's Skull Cruncher or, I don't know, it's the green guy. I'm coming, boss. Just let me catch...
Yeah, Skull Cruncher's the big one.
Oh, okay. So this is Grill, Razor Grill.
Yep.
There we go. And Razor Grill gets a big old bulky elbow to the face. Mm-hmm. I really wish Miko and Jack, and I know people are going to kill me for saying that, but it's how can you see Bulkhead and not have Miko there? Whatever.
It really is odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is. Considering all of them were on Cybertron, you know, at the end of whatever. So they go to try to trap Overhead. doesn't work at first, and she essentially just throws RC right into the wall.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, RC looks like a little puppet.
Yeah, pretty much. And is it just me, or is in that panel where Buffaloid, or where Overhead, where the wham happens, where she's shoving her head into the wall? Doesn't she kind of remind you of Strika? Just a little bit, the way that she's posed and...
A little bit. Strike is awesome. I love Strika. We need more Strika.
So instead of really actually making the space bridge work properly, she turns it into a black hole.
One of my favorites on this page, though, is Grimlock when he's looking up at her. It's like a little puppy waiting for a treat.
Yeah, he does.
So cute. I love it.
It's like, caught ya. Yeah, poor Grimlock. So everybody's trying to hold on to everybody else. And I'm trying to... Oh, it's Bumblebee that saves the day.
Of course, it's Bumblebee.
Yeah, he's, the hero type. Clearly. Wait, red button on the left. These controls don't make any sense. I built it so I understand it. This is the last dance for both of us, Autobot. I'll lead.
You know what? I have to give her kudos for that. Because, yeah, if you're going to make a device, you make it to where you understand that kind of tricks whatever everyone else up, I got to give her kudos for that. She's a smart thinking Buffaloid.
Yep. And Bumblebee's like, if you're not going to tell me how to shut this thing off, I'll just have to get lucky. Pushing random buttons does work, apparently.
Or all of them at once.
Yeah, true.
With someone's face.
So, all's well that ends well, I guess?
I guess.
Everybody's captured. The Buffaloid has a... defeated, what is that look? Oh god. It's not Pokemon, it's there's some animation, I don't think it's anime, but where the eyes are zonked out.
That's a lot of anime. This isn't a lot of anime.
Yeah, no, but I was trying to think of something specific, and she gets put into the other stasis pod, and apparently Bumblebee can shock them in the stasis pods.
Well, they're putting him in stasis. He's putting her into a stasis lock. So.
Yeah, that's true. So they have they're basically taking all the criminals at this point. And as the issue goes to an end, Sideswipe says something about, because Ultra Magnus and Bumblebee make up and they, I'm never going to underestimate you again and I'll trust you and blah, blah, blah. The whole standard, if there's anyone, anything you need, blah, blah, blah. And Sideswipe speaks up, I've got a couple of traffic violations you can take care of, strong arm. And she then goes through all the violations.
I love that part.
Oh boy. So this one kind of ends with, and I wasn't expecting the end of what comes up under the next thing, but basically ends, so long old friends, until my mission here is complete, you'll know where to find me. And it ends with Team B and Russell and Denny. And in the bottom right-hand corner, next, Viacon's return. I can't wait.
I like Viacon.
To see how they get... Because that was the coolest thing about Prime, is the Viacon's 3D designs, and I can't wait to see how they work it in the 2D world. Because the whole point of RID is it's the 3D animation models on 2D backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really wondering, first of all, I'm wondering if the Viacons will ever show up in the cartoon. Second of all, I can't wait to see how Priscilla designs the Viacons for the comic at this point.
Oh, she'll do great, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break, come back with final thoughts and overall ratings after this.
Okay.
Strong arm. Horses aren't generally aggressive unless provoked.
Perhaps not, sir. But given how many of the Alchemort's inmates are analogous to Earth's animals, it is vital we understand any...
Enough! The only way to train is to actually train, which is what I'm gonna do right now.
Strong arm! Is it true kittens can swarm?
Freeze, Decepticon.
Whoops. We're on the same side. Whoa!
I haven't seen bolt nor tread of an Autobot since I awoke, but I have seen a whole lot of cons.
Well, I'm not one of them.
Okay, Slick. I gotta admit, you have some decent moves.
And you're lucky. I was just about to let loose. And my name's Sideswipe.
My name's Windblade.
All right, we are back. Do we want to do individual review scores, or do we want to do overall?
Because it is a story arc.
Yeah, I loved it. There was a few things with the art. Now, don't get me wrong. I've wanted to see Priscilla's art for the longest time on interiors. Like, don't get me wrong. She's an amazing cover artist, but she's finally getting her chance to shine as the interior artist here as well. And she's doing it all. There isn't a separate colorist. There isn't a separate... Well, I think Tom B. Long does the letters, but...
Yep.
You know, as far as, you know, actual drawing and colors and inks and all that, it's all her. And... yeah, there was that little thing with... There
was, I think it was issue 3, where she had Bertram help, if I'm right?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, issue 3. So, like, get my issue 3 out again, her.
For me...
yeah,
for me, the...
help.
Okay, Josh helped in issue 3. For me, overall, the story was really good. I liked the humor in it. I love the things that this creative team is doing where it makes me think of other things. And obviously, I love to make all kinds of references and everything else. But it's just one of those things where, wow, there's just certain things. Like, this is for kids. Don't get me wrong. It is. But it's also for us, too. Because there's just so many cool hidden gems.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so much. Like I said, just from the start, where you see my first blaster, I'm like, okay, he's won me over.
Yep. I love Evil Fix-It. Evil Fix-It needs to be around more often. Overall, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. What about you?
I was gonna give it the same. I really enjoyed it. Because, like I said, I don't want to give a series like a perfect score, because they need... This is the start of it. It needs to go a little bit. But like I said, it's a fun series. You've got the sentimental side. You've got the fun, jokey side. You've got the... I like how they have homages back to certain things. They've got new characters. They've got... the old characters as well, so for people like that. And I mean, it's just overall just a fun story. I love these new Decepticons, and like I said, most of them just want to go back home. They're sick of this crap. And
Yep. Yeah, I really dug this first 4-issue arc. I thought it was really, really cool. It's just so interesting how that George's writing and Priscilla's art just come together to tell this amazing story. I really wish we'd see more of Clipshade, though. I think he needs his own little mini-series or something.
I like Clipshade. I like him a lot. I want to see him doing theater.
Oh, God. Here is your weekly theater battle. I can't talk. Here's your weekly theater battle, people. Clipshade versus Thundercrapper.
Crapper.
Yes, you'll never live that one down.
That was an accident because I love Thundercracker. So.
Sure it was. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for us, folks. I think coming up next for the pull bag, it's gonna be Dark Side December when Ryan Drost from Star Joe's joins me and we take on the Star Wars Thrawn Trilogy, Dark Empire, and Shattered Empire. These are the comic versions of Thrawn and Dark Empire, not the books.
Right. So
we'll be doing that for December for Star Wars. After that, I don't know what's happening. I think you and I might be doing D4VE at some point.
Okay.
Because I'm finally getting around to grabbing all that stuff as well. So, where can the people find you online?
Just Google BeatlesDiva. Beatles like the band, not the bug. That's me. That's the easiest thing I could tell you.
You can find me at TFG1Mike on Twitter. You can find The Pullbag on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, it's at The Pullbag. You can find GeekCast Radio Network over there as well on Facebook, at GeekCast Radio on Twitter. Make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time.
Aloha.
Looks like this team you've put together has had a pretty high success rate. The mark of good leadership.
Well, I had solid raw materials to begin with.
If Slick here is any indication, I'd say that's probably true.
Slick? Can we jump right to the important questions? Like, where did you come from? The High Council wouldn't send just one bot to back us up.
And they didn't. Skeptibot.
My name's Strongarm, not...
I was sent by Primus. Yeah, that Primus. On a mission of my own more than 1,000 years ago. Primus believed a terrible evil would someday focus on Earth and threaten all life in this galaxy. He upgraded my tracking systems and put me in stasis. Ordering me to protect this world at all costs.
She's more windbag than windblade, am I right?
She's awesome.
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pullbag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for, and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching GeekCast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at GeekCast Radio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.